We all know that feeling of a mini heart attack when we lose our cell phones or when we can't find our wallets and purses. But what about that feeling when you receive the drastic news that your child, brother, or sister went missing? Statistics show that approximately 1.5 million children are reported missing each year. Quite a lot, isn't it? Fortunately, an emergency response system has helped recover not all, but more than 400 of those missing children since it was created. This system is called the Amber Alert. The name AMBER stands for America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response. Surely you all know its purpose is to help find a child in the area. But do you know who sends them? Do you know what criteria has to be met before issuing an Amber Alert? Do you know of any other former ways you can prevent a child from going missing? Better yet, do you know where and why this system started in the first place? It all began in the year 1996 in Arlington, Texas, when 9-year-old Amber Hagerman was abducted and murdered by, still to this day, an unidentified man in a pickup truck. This child's case influenced this system to make a difference. Shortly after Amber's death, the Amber Alert initiated. In the article, Smart Policy Decisions to Combat a Social Problem, authored by Glenn Mustard, Melissa Young Spillers, and Don Carr, helped one better understand the social problem during child abductions. As stated, we are not arguing that Amber Alert programs are not important. However, the majority of attention and resources of abductions are focused on the smallest portion of victims to the exclusion of victims of familial abductions. This illustrates how the news or research publications lack the target itself, since majority of the cases or abductions are from the child's parent or parents. Before one receives what some people refer to as an annoying Amber Alert, certain criteria must be met in order to issue it out. Child Abduction, Amber Alert, and Crime Control Theater, authored by Timothy Griffin and Monica K. Miller, gives one an overview of how Amber Alert is systematically processed. As established in this review, specifically there should be evidence of an actual abduction, genuine risk of bodily injury or death, a description of the perpetrator, the victim, or both, and a verification that the victim is under 18. This interprets all the requirements before we are even alerted about the missing child. In most cases where murder occurs, the child is killed within the first hour after the abduction. Gathering all the information and waiting on officials to create the Amber Alert can sometimes cause a delay, which result in maybe being too late to rescue the child. Other than calling 911 to keep updates on where the victim is, such inventions like GPSs are being considered in accommodating this emergency response system. An article published in 2010 called GPS-Based Child Care System Using RSSI Technique describes how useful these devices help identify your child when not found. If you think about it, it has its pros and cons. A child's privacy matters. However, their safety is much more important. Authors state that this design differs from other approaches that it links to the America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response database and has onboard memory that provides a history of target movement, altitude, temperature, and speed direction. Going into detail, this GPS is progressing and is making one consider, or at least think twice about the subject. Concluding the effects of this emergency response system, protecting one another is always important. After all, a child is reported missing every 40 seconds. Thank you.